Hey guys from the Thoughtful Gardener, I wanted to talk to you about tomato ripening today. Your mother or grandmother may have told you to set your tomatoes on a windowsill to ripen. That's actually a wives' tale. It doesn't do anything. Ideally, your tomatoes will ripen in about 60 to 70 degrees, which is about the temperature of most households this time of year. I, as you see, have a bumper crop here. These are a heirloom variety called Black Crumb that I got these seeds from the Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company or groworganic.com. I love this company. I have nothing but nice things to say. If they don't grow, they have a guarantee to replace the seeds, and I've actually had to do that only one time, and they did make good on their promise. They also send you free seeds, and that's given me a chance to try some things that I absolutely love. So I highly recommend them, and I highly encourage you to go ahead and get your seeds for 2022. And you may think to yourself, that's a little crazy. I don't think it is. The seed companies the last 2 years have had banner years, and it's my understanding that we're going to have issues with supply chains yet again into next year. So I encourage you to go ahead and place your orders for seeds or save your seeds. That's a really old-fashioned way that your grandparents used to do. And as my friend from the Heirloom Gardener says, take your tomato, take your seeds, smear it on a paper bag. I love that. It's not complicated and it works. Then you save that little piece of paper bag until next year. Great. So I'm going to definitely give that a try, John 40. Thank you for that tip. So let me show you what I'm going to do with all of these tomatoes. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I got a little overzealous over the weekend. I was a little concerned about the temperature and I pulled my tomatoes. Now, I left some of the smaller green ones out there. I pulled the big ones because, to be honest, I'm little and that's heavy. So it's an amazing amount of fruit, which is exciting, and I want to be able to use it. Now, my husband gets really frustrated this time of year because I have a tendency to freeze a lot of our produce. And so in the interest of space, I'll be doing a lot of drying of our produce this year and then using those for soups and stews and pastes and so forth. So I'm super excited to show you how I'm going to get these green tomatoes to ripen. So the first step you want to do is you really want to have a clean tomato. Now, I wash all of my produce when I bring it in my house in 1 part vinegar to 4 parts water. I let that sit for about 20 minutes. I do that with all produce because I find that it keeps the produce fresher longer. Things get contaminated, people have contaminated hands. This is one way to deal with it. So the next thing I do is I wipe them off really good with a textured cloth. Now, my friend knitted this for me. Thank you, Louise. I really appreciate that. It's very thoughtful, but it's enough to be able to make sure that like any leaves or debris. The vinegar also helps with any pests. So if there's anything that I can't see on there, soaking it in the water is definitely going to get it off. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put like colored tomatoes in the same bag. So these are mostly red, and I'm going to put them down in a paper bag. And you can see from one of my most favorite stores. I absolutely love Trader Joe's. Are you guys obsessed with Trader Joe's like I am? Oh yeah, it's the bomb. And they're putting one here finally. I literally have driven an hour and a half, and my crazy cat husband, who loves their treats for our kitty babies who are obsessed with the Trader Joe's treats, has driven 2 hours one way to buy kitty treats. So we're really excited they're opening one in January here. But until then, these bags are really heavy duty, and what you want to do is just put all like colored tomatoes in the same bag. And then we're gonna store these at 60 to 70 degrees. Now, I have a little exterior room over here that stays a little cooler than the rest of the house. So I'll just close that bag up, and then every couple days I'll check it. This is probably gonna be ready by tomorrow or the next day. But by grouping the tomatoes that are in similar state of ripeness, you're gonna be able to manage them a little bit easier. And then what we will do is then put them in the dryer again. So 1/4-inch slices, and you just follow your manufacturer's directions. Now, I did check my tomatoes after an hour of drying because I found that they were getting a little brown or black to me on the edges. And so I just reduced the temperature down. I left the time the same. They went 8 hours and then 1 hour in, or 1 overnight in the glass jar, and then the next day back in the dryer for 1 more hour. At that point, they were pretty much dry, but they were a little bit tacky, which is what they said would happen. And you want them to be really dry because we don't want bacteria to grow in there. So if you're feeling like they're still tacky, you just want to be careful that they're sticking together. These are definitely not doing that at this point. They are not sticking to each other. So they're really nice and dry. So I'm really excited about this technique. I highly recommend giving it a shot. I got the dehydrator as a present for my mom. Thank you. And I've been really pleased with the quality of the work it has done. So this would have mostly dried flowers because I like to make bath salts and for my friends and so forth. But this is really my first adventure in drying things for storage for the winter, and I'm really super pleased. So I hope you will give it a try, and I hope you will give this a technique. Now I should warn you that once you've got your produce inside, you've got it cleaned, this is only temporary. They really need to be dried in a flat bag like this or on trays, because if they get like this, it's possible that one could make the rest of them really disgusting. So don't do that. I just have them here for demonstration purposes and also just to make it easier for me to carry them from room to room while I sort them. So just a little tip there. But I hope you guys are doing well and you are ready for the winter time. You'll see some more videos here on fall things that are happening in the garden. I really am excited to show you a fall video on color. Color is so important this time of year and is really the highlight of the garden. Yes, there are flowers blooming, but the fall color is really what gets me super excited about this time of year. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see videos related to gardening on other subjects, and I'll do my best to make those for you. Garden thoughtfully and take care.